Hello, in today's presentation, I will be demonstrating Cognos Analytics integrated with Salesforce.com. I'll start with a quick introduction to Cognos Analytics, and then talk about the key integration points between Cognos Analytics and Salesforce.com. Finally, I'll do a live demonstration showing this integration. Cognos Analytics is IBM's redefined business intelligence platform, which provides smarter self-service the business will embrace without compromising the control you expect with an enterprise platform. Cognos Analytics enables you to meet the needs of individuals with varying analytics skills across your organization and promote analytics as part of everyday business. Today we'll be focused on taking this redefined experience and using it within an organization that has an investment in Salesforce.com. The key integration points between Cognos Analytics and Salesforce.com can be grouped into three different categories: advanced reporting, portal integration, and combined data access. Cognos has been a leader in reporting for decades, and having the ability to leverage this advanced reporting tool against live Salesforce data using a native connection type is an area that customers are interested in. Portal integration is the ability to embed existing content that's been developed within the Cognos environment against Salesforce data or other data sources, and expose that within the Salesforce portal. Also having the ability to extend existing Salesforce objects with context-aware Cognos content. This could be a chart or graph that picks up the context and filters the graph accordingly. Combined data access is the ability to leverage both live Salesforce data along with corporate or personal data. Being able to analyze corporate or personal data within the Salesforce environment where it resides without having to load that data up into your Salesforce environment can be a big cost savings to customers. For the demonstration, I'll be using a developer edition of Salesforce.com and Cognos Analytics' latest release, R5. I'll be playing the role of a sales rep preparing for some client calls during the presentation, and I will break character in order to add some commentary to what's going on. To give you a little bit of background, prior to becoming a sales rep, I was a business analyst, and I used Cognos Analytics to run reports and do analysis. I did like the new user interface and the ability to interact more with content versus just view static output. So I was excited to hear my company had integrated Cognos Analytics with our Salesforce environment. I'm going to start the demonstration within Cognos Analytics. You can see this is the new user interface. It has the Cognos color scheme as well as branding, and we're going to change that for this demonstration. I created a simple modified theme that uses a Salesforce image as well as some Salesforce branding and color scheme. Once I've applied this theme, I simply refresh my browser for that to take effect. Now when we move into the Salesforce environment, we'll be able to recognize this customized Cognos Analytics environment. So we'll switch over to Salesforce. And in Salesforce, you can see that I have three tabs across the top that are Salesforce specific: home, accounts, and opportunities. And then three tabs that are related to Cognos. I have Cognos content, a storms event dashboard, as well as some data discovery. Now I'm getting ready to go out and make some client calls, and so I want to pull up my list of accounts. For that, I'm going to navigate over to my account by industry report, which is a Cognos report that's been created. You can see as I select the Cognos content tab, the Cognos environment pulls up. You can see the theming that I created with the Salesforce image as well as Salesforce integration demo. Now, I want to use the new search capability to find my industry report. So I can see I have account list by industry. This makes it very easy to find your content. So while I was a user of Cognos Analytics before becoming a sales rep, new users can quickly find content and interact with the new search capabilities as well as the recent items. I'm going to run this report And then after I run this report, it will be part of my recent items. So the next time I need to run it, it'll be right at the top. You can see here I have a list of the accounts by industry. And as I mentioned, the recent items, that's now at the top of my recent items, account list by industry. One thing I like about Cognos Analytics is the ability to interact more with a report output. This particular report is rather long and hard to quickly find what I'm looking for. Before, I'd have to go back to the report author and ask them to modify the report if I wanted to make a format change. But now I have the ability to make some common formatting changes myself. You can see as I hover over things, items highlight. When I select something, a context-sensitive menu will pop up. For this, I'd like to group by industry, so I'll select that, and now my report is grouped by the different industries. I'm getting ready to go to Texas, so I'll focus in specifically on my Texas accounts. Then that will filter out everything else. So I'm able to quickly and easily focus in on the information that's important to me. For this particular trip, I'm going to start out in Austin, and I recently had an interaction with Edge Communication. So for this trip, I'm going to start with GenePoint, and then I'll do a quick follow-up visit to Edge. I'm going to save this view in my personal area so that as I make my visit, I can refer back to it easily. I'll just call this my Texas sales trip and save that. Now this view is available within my content area. Now the way that this particular report is set up, we have hyperlinks that are connecting directly from the Cognos report into the Salesforce objects. So I'm able to focus in on an account such as GenePoint, and then that's going to take me directly to the Accounts tab within Salesforce. It picks up the context of GenePoint and then passes that information to this tab. You can see this actively running report, which is actually a Cognos report that's been embedded within this Salesforce layout. And here, this report picks up the context of GenePoint, passed as a parameter, and filters out the report content. So here I have some information around GenePoint from Cognos, the list of open opportunities, which are also hyperlinks that will tie into the Opportunity tab up here. In addition, I have some historic revenue that comes from a legacy data source, as well as the currently open opportunity for $120,000. In addition, you can see that I've got an embedded dashboard within this page. This contains information not only about GenePoint, but about all of my accounts. I can see that there's a total of 1.68 million in pipeline revenue broken out by these different probabilities. Now I'm going to focus in on telecommunications because that's where GenePoint is, as well as Edge Communications. I can see both of these opportunities for the accounts that I'm going to visit in Austin. The GenePoint deal is further along, so I'm going to focus my efforts there to get this deal closed. The ability to interact with and filter this content is something that you cannot do with standard Salesforce. Being able to extend the capabilities and the analysis that you can do within your Salesforce environment while not having to leave the Salesforce environment is a great benefit. I can see additional information. I can pull in content not only from my Salesforce data, but my personal data as well as corporate data. And it makes it easier to do my job. I'm going to focus in on this opportunity, open opportunity I have for GenePoint. That's going to take me to the Opportunity tab within Salesforce. So what you've seen here is the ability to interact seamlessly between Cognos content and Salesforce content. I can run a Cognos report and drill into a Salesforce object from that report. Within the Salesforce object, I can embed additional Cognos reports that pick up context as well as provide global information, and then I can further filter down in. Here I can see the open opportunity, the expected close date, and key information that I have. While I'm visiting GenePoint and Edge Communications, I'd like to get them interested in our new cloud-based platform as a service offering and focus on the disaster recovery benefits. Due to the recent weather-related losses in Texas, hopefully they'll see the benefits of this. I worked with our business analyst team to pull in some external weather data into a Cognos dashboard, and then we've brought this into Salesforce. This dashboard has some great information and it should really hit home with the Texas-based clients. We'll wait for just a moment as the dashboard loads up, and you can see that this is a great visual way to represent data. So in this dashboard, we have some key metrics, the property damage, injuries, deaths. We're going to focus in on property damage, and you can see of the total 364 million in property damage by the map here below, Texas accounts for over a third of that. So that's fairly significant in terms of losses in the state of Texas. If we skip over and look at the crop damage, again, maybe not as relevant in this case for GenePoint, injuries, so of the 1,000 injuries caused by weather-related events, over 3/4 happened in Texas, so a significant number. And focusing in on deaths, we can also see that a significant amount. So let's go back to injuries, and if we scroll down a bit on the dashboard, we're able to see that the leading cause here was tornadoes. So again, maybe a great opportunity for us to pitch our platform as a service with disaster recovery so that they can be prepared for unexpected events like tornadoes. Okay, the final area I'm going to focus on in preparation for this trip is I'm going to do a little bit of data discovery and put together a custom dashboard. So I'm going to move over to the data discovery tab, and I'm going to select a layout from one of the templates to create a custom dashboard. As this loads up, I'm going to then select my data source, and I'm just going to select a data set that I have that has my different accounts organized by state. I want to do a little prospecting while I'm out in Texas, so I'm going to bring over my billing state and have that rendered in a map. And then I'm going to bring over my client count so I can see how many clients I have to visit within the state of Texas. I can see that the majority is here in Texas. I've got 11 different clients. So I'll bring over the account name to bring that list over. So this is a list of all my accounts. To filter it just to Texas, I can drill in on the map, and that will filter my list of accounts to just my 11 Texas accounts. You can see here's Edge Communications and GenePoint. If I focus in on one of them, it focuses the map. So very intuitive, interactive way to do some data discovery and put something together on my own without having to ask for help. And I did this all within my Salesforce environment, leveraging the power of Cognos Analytics' new dashboarding capabilities. So this is really everything that I wanted to show within the integration. And so I'll do a quick recap of what we've seen today in this Cognos Analytics and Salesforce integration demonstration. I pulled up the key integration point slide in order to do a recap of what we've seen today in the demonstration. Under advanced reporting, I was able to create several different reports using live Salesforce data. The account by industry report, as well as the account detail report and the interactive dashboard, all use live Salesforce data. I was able to not only view the report, but with the account by industry report, I was able to do custom grouping, filter on a specific state, and then save that into my own personal content area so I could retrieve it easily later. In addition, I was able to create a dynamic hyperlink that tied directly to the account object within Salesforce. Under portal integration, I was able to embed the Cognos environment within a tab in Salesforce. In addition, the account object was extended to include the account detail report that picked up the context of the account that I was on. And I also embedded a Cognos dashboard within the account object that wasn't filtered by the specific account, that allowed me to do interactive exploration of that data. For combined data access, we saw several reports using live Salesforce data, and the last storm events dashboard that we looked at was using external data that was brought in to the Salesforce environment to enhance the experience. Hopefully this demonstration has provided useful, and you can see the art of the possible in terms of integrating Salesforce and Cognos content together to provide a seamless experience for your end users. Thank you and have a great day.